What up, citizens? The Garage Heroes here. We're doing our inaugural movie review. I think this is the first one we've ever done, right?
Actually, is it actually?
I think this is the first one we've ever done. I think we did the Godzilla thing, but like that was so scatterbrained I wouldn't call this. I'd say, so for me, this is officially the first one, and we'll try to keep it a little shorter. They're more casual, and Miguel is there. You can't see him, but we're trying something new, a little casual conversation. I'm gonna explain to him, seeing as I have to keep it spoiler free. I don't want to spoil him. Keep the stakes high for me, so I don't spoil anything.
Give me the TLDR.
Okay. So this is really different. It's not gonna be what you expect. It's more of a not a comic book film. It's a drama, like a prestige drama. It's a story about a severely mentally handicapped man. It's not an action film, you know. It's not really a popcorn flick. It's a prestige drama. It's honestly, I actually want him to maybe edit in a quote or put it at the bottom of the description. The director states in the quote that he wanted to make a quote unquote real film. Directors believe are real films, more serious affair, and to do that, he basically disguised a drama under the guise of a Joker film. It's more emotional than it is like action-packed, you know? Like you're going in there for a character study and not a beat 'em up romp, you know? You're not having popcorn shoved into your face. You're too busy taking the tears out of your face, you know? It's just not a Avengers film. It's not even something smaller and more crime driven like a Dark Knight film. It's completely a drama. For the most part, you're getting character development, character dissection, not any it's not high on violence. You'd think that this, from the trailers, you get a lot of violence. It's not high on violence at all. It's very low in violence. Because of what I was expecting, I feel that the audience that's coming to this, since they like the Joker, then maybe they'll still be able to take what this movie's giving them. But it's a very different audience from what would see this movie if it didn't have Joker on it. It's gonna be a very different experience. It's a very different experience. Honestly, I would love to see what they would think. The opening week numbers seem to be very good, but I would love to see if there's any repeat viewings. I think it's gonna have a big drop off next week for sure, because it's just not the kind of movie that most of the audience that knows Joker it's expecting, you know? I think you should expect that from what they pitched it, but I don't think they're even expecting it really. If you are a more casual viewer and you know you don't really see dramas like that, you know, like indie dramas, let us know what you thought of it, because it's peculiar, you know? It's this big name that comes from all these big bombastic comic book movies in a movie. Basically, from what that quote says, is exactly the way I felt coming out of it. It's a prestige drama disguised as a superhero flick. I think Logan was a marrying of the two. You know, you get your drama, you get to cry a little bit, but then you get the explosion of action. And there's not crazy amounts of action like there would be in a typical superhero movie. It's a lot more serious, but it's a sprinkling of both. It's about 50-50. Maybe a little less, but that's not the percentages here. It's mostly drama. It's mostly trying to get you to cry and feel for this character. It's about emotional depth in this, and not so much punchy visceral action. You are basically seeing nothing.
But there is action though.
Not really, bro. There is nothing really. Go into this movie expecting nothing. There is violence, yes, but it is sudden like it would be in real life. They're not really trying to go for a big action scene, a big climactic action scene. This has none of the elements of a superhero film. This is, instead of a marrying of dramatic and and superhero film action. It's just a drama, hidden under the veil of Joker. It really is, and that's totally fine.
Does the movie feel to you like a drama movie that they put like a Joker logo on? Does it feel disingenuous to you?
It sounds like a critique, but no, it is though. It is, you know. I'm not trying to insult the movie. The movie's fine. The movie's good.
So you didn't feel slighted. You just enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, but it is the reason why I brought that quote. Like that's exactly why I brought up that quote, because it was his intent, and I felt that. I lived that, bro. I was like, no, people are not gonna, you know, see any comic bookiness at all in this, you know. Like it tries to tie to like the lore and stuff, but like it will be like no other superhero experience at all. It could have been a drama with a different name and had no buzz, made like $20 at the movies this weekend, like not even 20 million, $20, and no one even heard it. Maybe the critics would, honestly, if it wasn't that, probably critics wouldn't even liked it, because it's, you know, it's good for a drama, but it's really getting all this because of the fact that the Joker's on it, you know. I think that if you go in not expecting a superhero romp, you know, like knowing that you're gonna get, if you've ever seen dramas, or if you're just curious, you know, if you're just curious about seeing a different take on the Joker, and you go in with the expectations that you're not gonna get a superhero romp, you should watch this. Anybody should watch this, because I'll give the movie that it's not as great as I think that people are saying. I think it's good. I think it's really good, because mostly it's acting and it's cinematography. I think it's beautiful. It makes trash look beautiful. I mean, this place is filthy. It's Gotham, but it's really New York in the 80s. It's filthy, absolutely filthy, but it looks gloriously filthy. So I think the directing it's all on point. It's all beautiful, but the story is if you're a cinephile, it's something you've seen, and you've seen them better. Like the references, the movie that this is basically homaging, it wears it on its sleeve, you know. For one, I've never seen a movie go so obvious with his influences, which is really weird to see for me. But it's not even as good as those. Like, it's not even near as good as those. Those touch on the themes and the character dissection a lot better than this does, you know. But what really elevates this material is, one, that it's, you know, with the Joker now, and we've never seen this with any superhero, even if it's not exactly a superhero movie, we've never seen this, you know, so it's still very novel. And two, the performance is that great. I mean, we're talking about like probably one of the all-time greatest performances here. I mean, to me, this was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. He makes the movie and then some. Like, he is haunting Joaquin Phoenix in this role.
Where does he stand to you in the hierarchy of Jokers?
He'd be at the top if it wasn't that I felt that The Dark Knight was a better movie. But I legitimately liked him even maybe more than maybe not more, but equally though. Like, you know, he had his little ticks, you know, that really gave you insight into the character in ways that, like, you didn't have to verbalize it, you know. He acted his ass off, man. It was fantastic. He really gave you a bunch of ticks to tell you what was going on in his head, and you got it. I mean, if you're looking for it, I think that's where a cinephile will really get his money. Besides the way it looks, I think the acting has so many layers. It's so meaty, bro. It's like a massive dish. Like, it is huge. Like, what he did is so spectacular. It really is. Like, it's what's worthy of viewings, of next viewing, you know, of getting to that next viewing, wanting to see again, is digesting that performance. It's fantastic. He gets like way skinny. Like, you could see a bone in here that I've never seen on a man. It's disgusting. Yeah, like, it's disgusting. It's haunting. It really is something marvelous. Like, it's really the reason why this movie should be getting massive amounts of praise. He invests himself to a dangerous degree. You know, he could have gone crazy, and I would have believed it because he looks insane. He looks insane, and he looks like Arthur Fleck. He is the guy who's portraying this. He's fully committed to being a maniac. If I had to give it an overall, I don't really do a number system, but to convey how I feel, a number system is effective. So I would say, okay, I'm going to give it like this. I'm going to give the plot, I'm going to give you 3 different scores, and I'm going to marry them together as an overall. Because I really feel that it conveys how I feel about this. The plot is about a 7. The directing and cinematography at display is about a 9. You know, maybe 8.5. The acting is like at a 12. Like, it's so good. Even like the ancillary characters, like I think Robert De Niro in a small role gives a pretty convincing role as this guy in this talk show. I think he does very well. He does all the cueing to his band and all that really well. It's small, but I really liked it. Maybe because I just like Robert De Niro, but I thought it was very good. So altogether, I give about 8.5. About 8.5. It's not groundbreaking like people think. I don't think it is. But it's damn good. It's damn good, but it's not going to change the world, honestly. The plot is... We've seen it. We've seen it many times better. It probably shouldn't have even referenced those better movies because it makes you think immediately. Like, if you've seen those movies, you're like, you're nowhere near close. But before I do leave, I got one thing because it wasn't brought up. And I couldn't find a place where to put it. This movie has the ambiguity that you would like with the Joker. If you're out there and you've read any of the famous Joker novels, graphic novels, this has that ambiguity that if you were apprehensive about seeing a Joker origin film, which a lot of people that know about the origins of Joker would be, I think you're safe here. It's properly ambiguous. Like, it leaves it just right.